Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, kids. Before we go to the today's new topic, the types of soil, let us revise what we have already learned till now. Okay? The crops like rice, jute grow well in clay soil. Crops like jowar and bajra grow well in sandy soil. The crops like cotton grow well in black soil. Tea plant grow well in moist soil in hilly areas. The coconut trees grow well in coastal areas. As we have seen, maize grow well in dry soil. At last, the crops like onion and groundnuts grow well in well-drained sandy soil. Kids, now I'm going to tell you a story. Are you ready to listen a story? I'm going to tell you a story related to how we get our food, which is one of our necessity, right? So, do you think a person can survive without food? No, it's not possible because food is required for survival, right? Now, from where do we get the food? Yes, we get food from the crops, right? Farmers grow the crops on a large scale to feed the entire population of our country, right? Then they send it to the market from where we buy it and eat it. Right, kids? Kids, do you think the crops are easy to grow? No. A lots of efforts are taken by our farmers and lots of resources are required to grow a good crop. So, do you want to see their efforts? Yes, let's see. Firstly, farmers should know about the soil, climate and season for growing crop. For example, like if it is a summer season, they should think of growing rice, maize, jowar, etc. Right? They cannot grow some other rabi crops in summer season, right? Such a way. Now, the second step is to plow the soil and make it ready for growing the next crop which they have planned. While plowing helps to loosen the soil, and it is done by the tractor or some animals. After plowing, what do you have to do? Yes, it is to sow the soil. They have to sow very good quality seed if you want a good quality of crop, right? Yes, as you have heard, like what you sow, so shall you reap. Next, the fourth step. The fourth step is to add manure or fertilizers to the soil.
Fertilizers help the plants to grow well. Two kinds of fertilizers are used: organic fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. Organic fertilizers or natural fertilizers are obtained from cow dung or made from dead and decaying plants. Chemical fertilizers like urea, nitrates, superphosphate and ammonium sulfates are man-made or artificial fertilizers.
Yes, as you saw, that we should not use more amount of chemical fertilizers. And at last, what might be the last one, kids? Yes, they need something to grow up. That is water. We need to water the field at the right time so that plants can grow properly. This is called as irrigation. Kids, we have seen how much efforts do farmers put to grow a crop. Does it enough? No. Just growing the crop is not enough, right? Now, they have some other works also. They have to protect the crops and store the seeds now. So now let us see how protection of crops and storage of seeds are done.
To protect our vegetable crops, the farmers follow many steps. They put scarecrow to drive away birds.
Farmers also build fences to keep grazing animals like cows away from their field. Farmers also have to protect their field from pests like locusts, grasshoppers and caterpillars. They use pesticides. These are chemicals that are sprayed on standing crops. It's sprayed properly, they protect the crops from being destroyed by pests. However, too much of pesticides can be harmful for our health. At last, after doing so much of efforts, when the grains are ripe and the crops are harvested, they are required to be stored. After harvesting, grains need to be protected against moisture from the water. They have to be kept in safe from rats, moles, birds, squirrels, and insects. So, they must be stored in airtight sealed containers.
By now, you must have understood why your parents, teachers, and other adults always ask you not to waste food. So much of time and combined effort of so many people, including the nature, is required in growing the plants before the food is served in your plate. Even a single grain of rice requires many months to grow. So we should not waste our food in any manner. Love food and hate waste.
I conclude, let us hear a small story. Okay.
I will tell you a very funny instance on the technique. After hearing a lot about chicken farms, Chatur decides to grow chicken, so he brought 100 chicken to begin with. A month later, he returned to the dealer for another 100 chickens because all of the first lot had died. A month later, he was back with the same dealer for 100 more chickens because second lot had also died. Dealer asked Chatur, "Is there something wrong?" Chatur says, "Now I think I know where I'm wrong. I think I'm planting them too deep." So, right technique is needed for farming, to grow any plant and even for chicken farming, or else you won't get the desired result like in the case of Chatur.